laying everything on the line right now, and obviously, we're asking a lot of everyone right now, but Stanek and Diaz and Garrett and just honestly even Petey, he's had such a irregular schedule, and just for him to just keep stepping up time after time, it's been amazing. So it's all hands on deck, and just really proud of the guys for stepping up.
What do you learn about guys when they do things this time of year that they've really never done before in their careers?
Yeah, I mean, just that they're a ball player, because you have to be adjustable, you have to be able to rise to the occasion, and be able to do whatever's asked of you. So I just think it just exemplifies the baseball player that they are.
What do you think when Pete homers on a pitch at his ankles?
Yeah, I know. It's not the first time I've seen it. So I told him it reminded me of his first home run in Atlanta, and it was just an absolute liner to center field that for the rest of us mortals, we fly out, but for him it's just an absolute bomb. And so just normal Pete.
You talked being right.
What's that?
About last night being right. You mentioned last night that if you guys just did what you were still doing, that you eventually come around for you.
Yeah, I mean, it's what you learn by being here for a while, and you just learn to not panic. And if you're new here, then you can definitely start to panic and start to try and change things. But we've had success focusing on the process for 4 or 5 months now, and it's not the time to change it. So just glad that we got some things to go our way, and like I said last night, I think even we were just trying to beat on that dam until it finally breaks, and it broke tonight.
Are you aware that you guys didn't strike out in the game?
I wasn't until they just told me after the game in the interview, and that's pretty crazy. In today's game, with what today's pitchers have, that's pretty amazing. So I didn't know that, but I think it's a pretty cool stat.
How about going back to L.A.? I mean, the Diamondbacks just did it last year, winning 2 on the road to go to the World Series.
Yeah, I mean, it's definitely possible, and I think if any team can do it, we can. I mentioned last night we've played with our backs against the wall the whole year, and we've been able to rise to the occasion. I mean, some might even say we're at our best at that time. So if anybody can do it, we can do it, and we're just looking to Sunday to go 1-0 and keep this thing going.
Randy, were you guys as loose as it looked coming out today? I mean, for what was at stake, it seemed like is that just the confidence you guys have built up?
Yeah, I mean, again, I don't think now's the time to be changing things. It's just another game, and I think if you approach it in any other way, the moment eats you up. And so for us, we just have to approach it the same way and do it the way we've been doing, 170 some plus, before this, because that's when we're at our best. If we try and make it more than it is, guys will be tight, and we won't play as well. So the baseball is not a game that when you try harder, it works better. I've tried that, been there, done that. It doesn't work. The more loose that you can be, the more that you can just treat it like another day, the better off you're going to be.
Was anything said before the game to kind of just loosen things up around the clubhouse, make people?
No. We just did exactly the same thing we've been doing this whole time, and treated it as normal as possible.
How strange is it to play in a series where every game is a blowout?
Yeah, it's interesting, right? It is. It seems like when you kind of get that momentum, teams aren't giving it away. And that's a good thing. That's a good sign of good teams. This is 2 very good teams playing each other, but it is interesting, not exactly how I saw it going, but good teams don't give the momentum away once they get it. So I think that's indicative of the series right now.
I think especially because the 2 previous series you played in, every game was like
every game was war. Yeah, exactly. Every game was do or die, and 1 or 2 runs, and you're on the edge of your seat the whole time. We played a lot of ESPN classics, and so it is interesting. It's different to have it like this, but it's not. We'll see how this ends up. We've still got 2 games left. Could be different, but it's been interesting.
What do you think about the pitchers you have to go?
Yeah. I mean, we
probably have to use a bullpen game.
Yeah. I mean, we like it. Mania did great last time. So I think we're very confident with him. but this is a game of adjustments, and Flaherty did great against us last time, and then we were able to make adjustments, and we were able to do better this time. So it's just going to be all hands on deck at this point, from now on, and we're just going to give it our best shot each time.
A couple guys had mentioned they thought the 3 days off may have affected you guys a little bit. The
I
first time you
think we
faced
were
Flaherty.
rusty. I think we didn't capitalize on mistakes as well as we did tonight. But nothing to take away from Flaherty. He's a great pitcher, and he pitched great in LA. But I do think that we capitalized on mistakes better tonight.
It's a tall task, obviously, whenever you're down 3-1. But we're looking forward to the opportunity.
What is just kind of the key, Jesse, to doing what you said? 3-1's a big goal. Not a lot of teams come back. What is the key to actually doing it?
Obviously, it's all the cliches, one pitch at a time, but there's a reason why those things have been said in baseball forever. Really just that, and honestly, we just got to keep going. We just got to keep fighting. This team has fought all year, so to be in this position isn't really new to us. We just got to keep our head down and keep going, keep plugging away at it, and it's like one of those heavyweight prize fights. It's going to be one of those, and we're ready for it, and we're going to go give it everything we got.
Jesse, after what you guys have already done so far this month, does going to LA and winning 2 games sound as hard as people on the outside would look at it?
Well, of course. I mean, they're a really good team. Great lineup.
I guess I should say more possible than a difficult thing.
It's a great lineup. It's a great pitching staff. Obviously, a lot of their guys have been in this position before. We have a lot of guys in here that have been in this position before as well. So we're going to go one pitch at a time, and we're going to go try to put together 2 of our best games of the year, and see where the chips fall. But we got to take care of the first game or the 6th game first, and then we'll go from there.
Brandon Nimmo was saying that if he felt last night that you guys kept doing what you were doing, you eventually burst through the dam. So you feel that was the case tonight?
Oh, for sure. I think he called it. I mean, it's one of those things that, I understand what the scoreboard says, but, we're a couple hits away from being right back in both of those games, and we hit a lot of balls hard, and they made good plays, and they made some big pitches when they needed to as well, and they also got big hits. So it's part of the game, and we're looking forward to this opportunity of Game 6.
Nobody struck out in this game.
Yeah, I just heard that. That's incredible. We had a great game plan going into it. So shout out Barnesy and Xavi, and then Francisco and Nimmo and Pete really set the tone in that first inning. Obviously, like Francisco starting us off with a bullet. Nim puts together a great AB, and Pete hits a ball off the ground into the apple. So that was pretty sick. So yeah, it's going to be a fight, and we're looking forward to it.
You now have the most postseason triples in Mets history.
Yeah, I didn't have that on my bingo card. That's crazy. It's crazy. Wheels, I guess. I don't really know what to say about that. I don't even know what my last triple was before these playoffs. So, it was in Colorado, I think, in 2019. I do know, actually. Yeah.
Jesse, what do you make about just the way guys in the bullpen have not just stepped up, but stepped up in ways that they've never done before in their careers?
Yeah, these guys are nails, man. They're ready, and they're ready to come in and get outs, and they're savages. So those guys are amazing. They're incredible. And what Sugar did tonight, those 6 outs, was awesome.
What did you see from Flaherty tonight versus the first time you faced him earlier in the series?
Honestly, it's one of those things that even when we faced him the first time, he made some really good pitches, and I think tonight he did as well. I just think we found some holes, and we had a really good game plan. Obviously, seeing him for a second time in 5 days, you have more of an idea of like what the stuff is. But he's a great pitcher, and so we knew we were in for another tall task. So we just wanted to make it as hard on him as we could, and we found some holes tonight.